Hey everybody, what can you say? It's the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus, where we can't string together a streak for the life of us, maybe because we ran in the keeper every second time. Okay, that's fine, we got Lilith. I'm not trying to be salty, I'm actually happy, but I started in this tone of voice, so there's not really much I can do about it at this point. Kinda just gotta embrace the salt, I suppose, and no, I'm having a good day. You know, it happens. That keeper run that we... Oh, little tiny lord. He's so fast. He's so fast. He's between me and the incubus. Is this what purgatory is like? I honestly think we just want to stay firing in one direction. And then... Oh my god. Get incubus to hit him. Good lord, that was hard. And the irony that we got made tiny as a result. Anyway, I mean, it was a great keeper run. But again, you know, even the best keeper run, it needs some defense. If it doesn't get some defense, you're going to find yourself potentially being in a world of hurt. And I got to say, we hurt, and it felt, I don't know what unit a world is relative to, like, you know, a 1 out of 10 pain scale, but it hurt a great deal. But it also vindicated me, because I was complaining about not having defense, and then we lost as a result of, I mean, not imperfect play, but also not having defense. So that was unintentional damage, but I'm not, you know, beating myself up over it. As Kendrick Lamar said, I'm mad, but I ain't stressing. You know why? True friends can be in conception. So, you know, after a little bit, we might get a little reward for having taken damage. A participation trophy in the form of Little Brim, another incubus, another succubus, perhaps a song that reminds you of the good times, perhaps even a song that reminds you of the best times. For now, though, yikes. Yo, that's actually very good. But I was gonna say for now I would settle for finding our item room at any points. Health up, extremely cool. Yeah, everything's going fine. Today's Wednesday. What's new on a Wednesday, dude? Yo, you know what's new? I don't want to act like I'm, you know, besmirching the relationship that I have with Isaac, but I've been playing a lot of this new roguelite called Dicey Dungeons. It was made by Terry Kavanaugh. Well, made by is kind of weird, right? He's the person at the head of development. Whether or not he made it, I mean, he designed it. Did he make the whole thing? Maybe, but I honestly don't fully know. He didn't make the music. I know Chipsel made the music. So, you know, made is a weird thing. Like, who makes a meal, you know, at a restaurant? Is it all the chef that cooked the beef Wellington, or is it the line cook that, you know, helped you out with you put the salad on there? Everybody, they got an ingredient in the broth, you know what I mean? So I think they all made it. It was an act of cooking by committee. But anyway, this is getting a little overly and unnecessarily philosophical, I suppose. Yo, that's a great get. The best way to think about it, I think, is that it's a little bit like Slay the Spire, but, and like it's, even though it doesn't have cards, not bad. Still a very good way to think about it, because you get equipment that's kind of like cards in a deck, but then in order to activate your equipment, you need to make dice rolls and then manipulate it. So that's the RNG element that, you know, in Slay the Spire is more like, you know, which card are you gonna draw off the top of a shuffled deck? In Dicey Dungeons, they're like, nah, screw that. You just roll the bones, baby. And it is extremely good. I know I'm a little surprised, but also not. Like, I feel like I know what I like in a roguelite a lot. Some of the reviews, they're not bad at all, but they're like, maybe a little muted is a good way to describe it. And I'm like, nah, you're missing it. You're missing the real design beauty that's happening here. I've played like 5 or 6 hours of it so far. I'm having a fantastic time. Don't hurt me, thank you. Highly recommended if you're feeling, sure. Highly recommended if you're feeling like a little roguelite burnout right now. You're like, I don't really want to lose and Slay the Spire anymore. You know, Enter the Gungeon's great, but I played a lot of it. Isaac's great, but I played a lot of it. FTL's great, but, you know, it came out 7 years ago. Give Dicey Dungeons a shot. That game is extremely good. It comes highly recommended for sure. Now, you never know with the roguelite, you know, is it going to have that 400-hour staying potential? Who knows? But, like, the first few hours, having an amazing time. Rarely for me do I have an experience with a roguelite where, like, the first few hours, you're like, this is awesome. And then after, like, hour 20, you're like, oh, I wish I never played this at all. The best example is Rogue Legacy. But even that's not fair, because Rogue Legacy, although it peaks relatively early, I think. Don't hit me. Don't hit me. I'm the streamer. Although it peaks relatively early, I don't think even after you've beaten Rogue Legacy, you'd be like, well, that was a waste of my time because I don't want to play 300 hours. I think you're like, that was a good time. And, you know, all good things must come to an end. So that's what's new in my life, i.e. very little. Very little real-life stuff, at least. Hey, mister. I can't believe we're possibly... I'm trying to mitigate my own comedic timing here. I can't believe we're possibly going to make it out of this room without being hit. Still no guarantees on a deal with the devil. But now it's pretty likely, I'd suggest. The real problem here is no key. So we're missing out on access to our item room. And I guess to a lesser extent to the shop as well. And there's like basically no means to change that, which is... I mean, if we got a bomb, we could go through this and get a key. But how are we gonna... I don't know, like honestly, there's no other way for us to get there. So I think we might as well just hope this reveals like a black market or something. Obviously the odds of that were pretty low. That's very unfortunate, but we got two pretty good items nonetheless. You know, good damage upgrades. Big problem obviously is a lack of HP, but whatever, you know. But it's still going pretty well. Getting 2 damage upgrades on a floor, even if you gotta pay for one, makes you not as salty about losing the item room. I'm also not that salty about it, because, like, I think in that situation, like, there's literally nothing I could do. Like, I don't think there was another key spawn. I think we want the bombs more, to be honest. I don't think there was another key spawn we missed out on, so... It's always nice, you know, it's been a long time since I had like a new roguelite that came out that really tickled my fancy, to be honest. Should probably give Void B-Words more of a chance. I played it in advance of its release and I was like, it's cool, but I feel like it harkens to some games that I didn't really play growing up. And that's like, I didn't really play, you know, System Shock 2, I guess. When I was younger, so I feel like I'm missing like almost an implicit sort of like style of play. You know what I mean? Like I'll level with you. Sometimes I go demo a game at PAX, and like they start explaining it, and I don't stop them because that's like incredibly rude. It's their game, but I'm like, you know, in my head I say to myself, I get it. It's Isaac. There's a lot of games you play, and you're like, you know. They start telling you, hey, there's items you can pick up that can, you know, change your attributes, but sometimes it comes at a price. And you're like, yeah, I know. I'm familiar with that concept. I like that concept. And then some, you know, as a result, you kind of like, you understand it a little bit better. They don't have to explain it to you like, hey, just so you know, you want to take a balance of, you know, risk and reward so that you still have a chance to blah, 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 blah. You get the idea. And I feel like I'm derelict in some games that, you know, kind of lean, I wouldn't say rely, but, you know, they lean on having knowledge of earlier, you know, touchstones in a genre. I think it makes sense. I don't know. Too many words to explain it, but otherwise makes sense. But it's been a long time since I had a roguelite where I played it and was kind of like immediately like, oh, I get it. That's not always like the most important sign, to be honest. Like, When I played Slay the Spire for the first time, I was like, this is fun. Maybe I could play, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 times on video. It could be a good time. Ended up playing that game for like 600 hours. And I still play it leisurely to this day. But I think, like, you know, it's a game that reveals its depth on play, without a doubt. So even Slay the Spire, which I started playing like almost 2 years ago now, doesn't really have that same sort of experience. I think the last time, I don't know, man, it might actually be like Enter the Gungeon. Or maybe like Into the Breach, but really depends. I guess you would call it a roguelite. Even though it's a strategy game. Help me. This would be a really good time to beat the odds. Our 1 in 11 shot of a deal with the devil, please. No, but again, more damage. But more damage is going to bury us eventually. I think we should go. I want to get an arcade on the next floor if possible. Then we can maybe get KB and Conception to work and things can start falling into place. I do want to say thank you for the HP upgrade we got, along with the Eternal Heart we got on the first floor. Without either of which, we would probably be a little bit upset with the way this run's looking right now. But instead, we're like, you know, it's pretty okay. For now, that could change mighty quick. Bomb? So we do have an arcade. Oh, what an interesting conundrum we have here. I think first we go to the curse room. We have 1.5 red hearts right now. So just, that's very important to keep that magic number in your brain. Okay, we're full on red hearts. You go back here, see what you got in the curse room, try to add some spirit hearts for protection. Never mind. Oh, dude, we're always gonna need a key though. Okay, so we have 2 hearts. So we're really looking for Blood Bag, but also KB and Conception. 1.5. 1.5. Then start playing these. You know, is harkens back to a different day, a different style. 1.5 of Isaac play. Yo, 2. Okay, so we should be able to play this 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So we're back down to a half heart with nothing backing us up, which is extremely dangerous because we could easily get destroyed by just like a fly. Yeah, we like should probably be a little bit more careful. I just don't want to blow these guys up yet because, like, you know, once we blow them up, they're kind of, you know, they're gone forever. Okay. Heart, please. We're at least at 1 heart, but that's pretty dangerous. This, hopefully, will be the most fragile part of the run. Now, maybe it's fragile because once something breaks, it's no longer fragile. It's just permanently broken. Or maybe we'll get so strong that nothing could possibly break us, you know? I'll stop short of saying we get rock hard, but you kind of get where I'm going with this one. We need a little bit of protection. We're not nearly strong enough to justify our low HP right now. It's kind of like it's like a weirdo, like, keeper run, but not as the keeper, clearly. Okay, I just, like, hate this room, but a little bit of finesse and, you know, basically just a big old thank you for the fact that we have, burnt penny and everything's going according to plan. Sort of, maybe, a little. 2 bombs opens that up. Honestly, we have to... I hate this room, dude. Oh my god. That's all instinct. I'm running on pure freaking adrenaline right now. Not really. You can tell by my tone of voice, you know. I'm pretty calm. Thank god. Okay, we're back to full HP. I will crack both of these open. We had a key shortage earlier. Those days have passed. And that was a huge get for us. Ace of Hearts. Also very good for leveraging itself on a deal with the devil. Or on a blood bank, I should say. And I gotta tell you that blood bank might be worth as much as a deal with the devil because it can be in conception. But anyway, suffice to say, I didn't finish my point. But it's been a long time since I've been enchanted by a roguelite as much as I've been enchanted by dicey dungeons. That doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna have the same staying power as games like Isaac and Slay the Spire, because honestly, I haven't gotten to that point yet. I'm not comfortable saying that. But at the same time, you know, it's been a long time since I willingly booted up a roguelite to play for fun, because I play so many on my channel as is. And this has been a nice change of pace to remind me why I like the genre in the first place. Got you looking at the gliss on my hands and wrists while I'm laying back and smoking on my can of what? When it comes to rocking the rhythm like Marvin and Luther, I can tell you ain't no messing with Con Man and Twists. Duh. Okay, so that's 1.5. 1. Let's freaking go, Tomo. We're in the freaking money here. Okay, before we fight the boss, it's a little dicey, but I'm willing to gamble on getting the shop first. Not willing to spend my key, though. I will spend a bomb for a key. I'll spend 2 bombs to open stone chest if we have to. Don't have to. Ooh, that's tough. I think we will take it. And I will take this. I think it gives us deal with the devil protection no matter what. So could this be where the run starts to actually pop off? I do want to see if my man explodes. He exploded into coins. What a dream come true. Take the obvious approach, I think. If you got a staggering amount of money, there's definitely like an inroad where I think blank card could put you in a really awesome position. We're not there yet. But I think everything is pretty much going according to plan right now. I got nothing to complain about anymore, but we did it to ourselves. So, you know, I gotta be a little bit proud of the way we managed to get ourselves through this. I mean, just keeping an audit of our HP when it was so low, and I'm not talking about Han, fellow nerds. Pretty valuable. And then immediately, like, just spit in my face, slap me. With the shovel. Come on. It's okay. It's not like I was leveraging all of our hopes on getting a great deal with the devil item. And what game do you think you're playing here? The Binding of Isaac up the it is this game you're telling me? So my earpiece is telling me that is this game. Sorry for the confusion. It's also always nice when you got some new hotness to play. You know what I mean? No matter whether it's a roguelite or whatever. You know, when a new game has come out and almost everybody is, like, pretty positive about it. Everybody's talking, yo, you played as this character yet? Yo, it's the good communal aspect. Because, you know, sometimes I do get disenchanted a little bit. And it's obviously, you know, a poorly kept secret, but a lot of people that watch video game content on YouTube, and, like, it's your right, don't get me wrong, and I'm not calling you out, but, like, I feel like they, you know, hours played of video games a week, 10 to 20. Hours of video gaming industry content watched, forum posts made, comments left on videos, blah, 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 is, like, you know, 60 to 80 sometimes. And I'm like, man, it's just exaggerated when there's maybe a little bit of a gulf, you know? Like, it's not to say it's been a bad year for games. Quite the opposite, as I've said many times. I think it's been an awesome year for games. And I'm stoked so many people are liking Streets of Rogue. But, you know, when there's very few games that a lot of people are talking about, then it becomes about, you know, blah, blah, Epic, blah, blah, loot boxes, blah, blah, EA. Sometimes those things need to be said, for sure. Do they need to be said as much as they're said? Yes, who am I to judge? You know, you vote with your time when it comes to that stuff. And, you know, I tend to spend my time elsewhere. When something comes out that, like, a lot of people notice and are like, yo, this is a slapper, then you're like, this is a great time to be in the industry. Oh, dude, we got a second Incubus out of Cambion Conception. It's another great time to be in this industry, honestly. When you get 2 Incubuses, all of a sudden, feeling a little bit more comfortable in our approach here. It's actually not a bad floor to get Krampus. Mostly because we might not have wanted to pay for, you know, good deals with the devil anyway. I don't know. Box of Friends, I think at this point it'll yield more than Krampus, and it's useful more often. All we have to do is actually remember to press the freaking button. Shinji. I will say, people keep asking about when you're going to do the Evangelion podcast. Me and Mathis, we got plans to do it. We're just both busy. It's not him in this case. It's me. I'm just finding time in the schedule to actually fit it in. I don't really want to reroll the whole run. I cannot promise 100% that it will happen, but we both want it to happen, and we're trying to make it happen. So I'm optimistic it will happen. But it's, I mean, it's always a busy time. But, like, it's a pretty busy time to watch 22 episodes in a movie of a television program and create podcasted content about many of those episodes, you know? It's not a big project. Like, we're not building an aqueduct in ancient Rome, but it's a more of a time investment than, like, hey, I'll record 3 Mario Maker episodes this afternoon. So you gotta make sure that you got a gap in your schedule, and that you got a gap in your schedule for long enough to actually make it happen, instead of like, hey, yeah, for a month Wednesdays were good, and now they're bad, so let's just leave it undone. Or unfinished. I will spend 2 keys here. So we missed out on Boss Rush, which I think is honestly a big blessing. Because I think if I had gotten the Boss Rush, I probably would have tried to do it, and we might have even come out ahead. And then I wouldn't have anything to complain about. And, like, where's the fun in that? So we're just staying cool. I do want to play that Demon Judgment some more, but we also want to, you know, not perish, so. Ooh, that's pretty good. I think that's a tough one. That's like Deal or No Deal, and Howie Mandel says, hey, here's $80,000, you know? Do you take the deal or no? You're like, well, I could have the chest with $1 million in it, but at the same time, 80 grand, you know, that's a pretty nice, sure thing. I think we're really gonna leverage our HP here. Oh, dude. Humbling Bundle. Very, very nice. Okay, let's start playing this guy. I mean, he's given us Cambion Conception hits as well. A little ambitious. Oh, I don't know about this one, dude. Definitely, like, unorbital, I think, is fine for 1 HP. It's nice protection. Works with, I want red hearts. You know, let's not hedge our bets. Or let's hedge our bets, I mean to say. We might use it a little more, but I don't really want to use it that much more because I'm a little nervous about its quality. You know what I mean? Yo, I didn't know this was back here. You've been holding out on me. Me? So I think we've done pretty much everything according to plan. You know, this run, you couldn't ask for much better on a Lilith run like this, I think. It's not to say we played it that well, just that we... You know, it's like driving your car to the grocery store. It's not like you're going to get there and, you know, your friend's going to be like, whoa, man, great driving. But he'll be like, you know, thank you for safely getting me to the grocery store. I really appreciate it. Okay, fine. I'll take one more. Now that we got the HP. It's a victimless crime. That's what I'm doing. I'm safely piloting this Lilith run for now. And hoping that in the future... That was a huge get if we could ever fill up our HP. Hoping that in the future we... Oh my lord. You can't see my camera because it's not on, but like my brain was like, oof, that's bad. But we did get Dark Bum. So now, like, I feel like it's starting to grow here. It's starting to be a sustainable what's the word I'm looking for? Sustainable. It's not really an income, you know. It's not really an industry either. It's a sustainable thing. That's what the word thing was invented for. It's like an implicit this keyword in the C# programming language, right, Tomo? He knows what's up. Don't ever question my son, Tomo. He's a great programmer. If he put his mind to it, he could do it. I mean, obviously not, but he doesn't need to hear me say that. Hey, I don't even think he can speak English, so. I mean, he understands a few things. I think he definitely understands Tomo. I think he understands Ruka. Wet food, I can't really tell if he understands wet food or if it's a tone of voice. But he usually replies with like a... And I'm like, yeah, who's a hungry son? And he goes, and I'm like, yeah, you are. That's right. That's probably what you meant to say. I want HP, please. Let me fill up my own HP. Sure, we got a lot of consumables. That's all great. We can all hang our hats on the amount of consumables we got. But at the same time, please let me out of this, HP purgatory we got going on. Yo, okay, half a spirit heart is actually worth quite a lot. And then... second secret room, full of red hearts. Ooh, it's never happened. It's never gone like that before. It's just that easy, dude. Okay, now it's... no, don't drop him in here, you son of a gun. What do you got for me? Yeah? 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 That's pretty good. Pretty good. Honestly, mom fight I do not think even needs box of friends right now. Keep in mind, dude, we got the freaking Midas touch. So, we ever get a chance to walk into an enemy that doesn't hurt us, you just hit him with the ya. Hello, Tomo. You want to leave? You don't like being talked about behind your back? Okay, buddy. That's fair. I can understand that. I don't know why it feels like there should be like an anecdote there, but there isn't. It's just like I'm just letting it hang kind of awkwardly. Ace of Hearts, you know? Why not? Ace of Hearts. The one thing this run is really missing that it could benefit from right now is mapping. Now, I got no place to be. I mean, it is legendary raid hour relatively soon, so I mean, technically, like, sure. I would like to catch some more Rayquazas, but I've already got a shiny. And, like, at some point, do I really want to pay premium price for raid passes? I don't know. That's okay, fine, you got me. But, you know. I got nowhere to be. But still, mapping's just nice, dude. Oh, that's beautiful. Who needs an Emperor card? Just a nice quality of life. It's like having a GPS in your car. I don't think I could go back to the days where we didn't have navigational systems. You just had to have, like, arguments with your friends all the time about, oh, the fastest way is you get on Taylor Kid Boulevard, and then you take that to Gardner's Road. You skip the traffic on Highway 2 coming home from work, and blah, 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 blah. Now you just get in your car, and you're like, food, and it's like, yeah. Your favorite, you turn right at West Hastings Avenue. Yeah, thanks, car. Except my car doesn't have a GPS anymore because, remember, like a year ago, it got broken into. They stole the SD card out of the navigational system for whatever reason. And I'm assuming they basically just hawked it for like 75 cents. But let me hit you with a weirdly contradictory take. Not having a navigational system in the car sometimes is frustrating, but basically now just like, you know, I look up where I'm going on Google Maps and then either remember it or, you know, have it on my phone as I'm driving and it'll shout out the directions via Bluetooth. Because I'm like a Boy Scout when it comes to not looking at his phone while he's driving. You gotta practice what you preach. But the other thing is really done is like I've just learned a lot more about the city around me. I feel like an 1800s London taxi driver or something like that. People are like, I gotta get here, and I'm like, oh well. Well, then you gotta start. You go to the major thoroughfare that goes in the cardinal direction you want to go, and then you go. You know, well, you're going to want to get on a feeder street at some point, so you're going to turn left at West 12th Avenue, and then you're going to watch out. Sally Limon is there. It's one of the best Mexican restaurants in Vancouver. You're going to pass that. You're going to pass the Osteria Savio Volpe. Had a great birthday dinner there at one point, and then soon you're going to arrive at your destination, the Black Lodge, the David Lynch-themed vegan restaurant. These are real places. I know it's a caricature of Vancouver, but they are also very real. And they're fantastic. Well, they're okay. Sally Limon and Osteria Savio Volpe are pretty good. The Black Lodge was, like, not bad, but, you know, it was like, I had, like, a vegetarian or vegan poutine there. And I was like, this isn't as good as a real poutine, and I'm not a vegan. So I kind of feel like I just sort of came to the wrong establishment. It's not your fault. By vegan poutine standards, I think it was pretty good. It was, like, a reasonable facsimile. Didn't quite wet the palate for me though. Anyway, cool demeanor in the restaurant, cool vibe. Anyway, where was I going? I don't know. You can tell the run's good because it's a Lilith run, which normally requires a pretty decent degree of focus, and yet like I'm not really focusing. So usually a sign that we're in a pretty positive spot. Basically zero complaints. Yo, we got a bevy, and the bevy is not dry. I don't want to say it's wet, because that's got a different connotation as well. I would say, like, please, let me find the boss. Isaac has been the harbinger of destruction on a sincerely embarrassing number of recent runs, and I want to give that son of a gun a taste of his own medicine. If I could get there, sans finding every dead end on the map, I'd be a happy man, but hey, every second of Isaac is just a pleasure to be a part of. You know, one day it might not be here, and we might look back on all those moments that are like, you know, well, I'm having a miserable time right now, and you're a little regretful, like the movie Click with Adam Sandler. I got distracted because I was trying to, you know, search the old mental hard drive for an anecdote, because Kate and I saw a commercial on TV. I remember it now. It was a commercial for like some kind of pain reliever. And the way that the commercial ran was so tone deaf, I actually questioned whether the marketing people were playing a joke on the client. Because it was like, you know, this dad goes to play with his kids, but they're like jumping around in the ball pit at like a Chuck E. Cheese and stuff, and he's feeling his back, right? And he's like, ooh, my lower back, because, you know, it happens, I guess. And then he's like, but then I started taking, you know, prescription medication X, and all of a sudden it's become so much easier. And then when they're listing the side effects, it shows the passage of time happening super quickly at like his son's birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese. But, you know, he's not in pain anymore, so the time's flying by. But it really makes it seem like the drug makes you, makes the time that you spend with your kids fast forward. Like, I can't stand my friggin' kids, dude. I gotta take this drug to fast forward to when Babazumi's Fishing Hour comes on TV. Both Kate and I, like, independently, we were like, what is going on with this? This ad really seems to send the wrong message, like you need drugs to to enjoy playing with your kids. I get it, you got back pain. I'm not saying you should have to be 100% natty at the Chuck E. Cheese. I'm just saying there's probably different ways to show that in an advertisement than him hitting the fast forward button on his kid's life. Alright, it seems like this is where we're gonna be for the rest of the run. That's okay. It turned out. Everything turned out hunky-dory on this one, you know? It's still frustrating sometimes to be Lilith, because the shots, they don't seem to land when you think they should land at all times, but I mean, it'd be pretty ignorant to complain about this run right here. I mean, it's going very well. Complain about the ones where you end up going to the womb, you got no damage upgrades. Those are the ones that, everybody's on your side. This one, not so much. So I think we'll try going this way. Saved a lot of time there. Can you blow a hole in this again? No. I don't know why I thought you could. Oh, dude, I forgot about the fact that we got Midas Touch. Basically, if we ever want to, we can go, in X-Men 1, the movie, where Rogue takes her gloves off, and then just, like, anybody that touches her, she sucks out their soul. We have that level of power. Who'da thunk? You know what? That's actually pretty great for us. We're gonna get battery charges probably, and then on top of that, Midas Touch just means that, like, we're just gonna absolutely stomp. Even if we don't get battery charges. We don't really need it for Blue Baby. Being able to use Unicorn Horn on the truly difficult rooms is probably better. I don't know. It's different, at least. I kind of want to, like, take damage just to get a Succubus or a Little Brim or something. Just, it's like the one quality of life negative right now. Just a little light on that. This guy, that would be impatience talking. Because against him, you pretty much just got to do this right now. You will never get this. As mentioned. Please. I beg you. Good sir. The correct direction for the first time in my adult life. Oh. Don't you do that. Don't you give me hope. You know what? It's not regret, but I do wish... Don't brimstone me. Oh, we got invincibility. I do wish that I'd used Potato Peeler kind of like more rigorously. At least a 3rd level Meat Lord. It's a pretty solid improvement on our existence here. Dude, who would have thunk? These floors are so long. I do love the invincibility. Don't get me wrong. Not a bad room for this. There's a cool joke in here somewhere. Definitely do not die. That would be... I mean, the embarrassment, it would subside pretty quickly, but, like, internally, I would be damaged forever, and years later, I would be like, why do I feel so bad? And then, like, I wouldn't know. But I'd get, like, hypnotized by, like, a hypnotherapist, and then I'd be like, threw away a run due to impatience for no reason. It's an innate character flaw, you know. And then they would stop returning my calls, because they would be like, I don't want to talk to anybody that lost a run that easy. So... They really make these floors in XL size, huh? Can I get a small, please? Can I get a small? I'm just not that hungry for more rooms right now. Hilarious. can I get a small? And then they give me a one makes you small pill. And you tell me that this game doesn't have a little man inside of it listening to me and then changing the values and parameters based on what I say. Yeah, okay. Believe that. I got a freaking bridge to sell you. Got him. Get me out of here for now. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you think, click the like button. That was a great deal. Of course, to grab you on some more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya.